Just another reminder, there are more country balls for you guys. I got hot Cheeto dust on my fingers. Denmark, Sweden, and Norway have all arrived. Of course, you get a discount if you get all three, but of course, they're only available for a limited time. If you feel useless, think of the U with a tilde key on French keyboards. It is used in only one word. Wait, I didn't even realize that different countries have different keyboards. Well, at least not if you use the Latin alphabet. There's even an Apple version of French keyboards. It's probably one of those things that are sold in only countries that speak Romance languages, because you would use this a lot for Spanish. And this is apparently the single word that uses it. It just means or in English, or also like whereabouts, where. Italian also has a lot more with this character. Wait, no, it looks like each language does have their own keyboard. This is the same Apple one, but look, the Spanish, and it looks like that's the only difference here. Is that where they just put like the special characters, just one switch? The Italian Apple keyboard has a lot more changes, but they do keep it all in this area. Now, this is just sending me down the rabbit hole of keyboards in Asia. I didn't expect anything else from Mandarin. Like how Hindi still has caps lock, shift, control, space, like all the things on the outside are the same. Americans, after hours of research and scanning 30 acres of land, with a metal detector proudly digging up a single Civil War bayonet. Meanwhile, Europeans trying to build a parking lot, finding 2 Roman basements, the foundation of a church from 600 years ago, and 5 unexploded bombs from 2 separate world wars. I feel like this is a good moment to say, we are not the same. This reminds me of how, like, every time I want to say the phrase, wow, look at how old this thing is, I first check to see if there are any Europeans around me, or if there's just anyone from the Eastern Hemisphere in general, because I know for sure they'll be like, you think that's old? There's a 5,000-year-old cardboard box in my backyard. Ancestors who stopped kids from having to work in the mines, now watching kids mine in a video game for fun. The children yearn for the mines. They literally cannot resist. I don't know why we like took away their favorite pastime. I even had this strange desire when I was a kid. Now, not so much. I say if we really want to start being a country again, we need to let them have their fun. The guy that thought letting a group of kids run a town without any adult supervision was a good idea for a TV show, watching it as it turned into a complete disaster. Who could have predicted this? I know, I was shocked and appalled. Why do I feel like I remember this for some reason? It's like from 15 years ago, and apparently it was one of the worst reality shows of all time. Oh, I want to watch now. Man, reality shows were just built different back in the day. We should bring that back. Man, you see a subtitle like this and you know that Wikipedia page is gonna be fire. Whoever pulls this sword from the stone shall be the king of the Northern Hemisphere. Whoever pulls this sword from the stone shall reign over all of the Southern Hemisphere. Oh, here they are both trying it. Oh, wait a second. Talk about an impossible challenge. What an evil prank by these wizard men. Wait, recently, didn't they find out that Excalibur was randomly found in a Bosnian lake? I guess some random Bosnian man ruled over the Northern Hemisphere then. He managed to do it. Not as long as I expected it to be, though. Fantasy setting, has magic and flying creatures, still uses horses as main transportation. This person replies with, setting has nuclear energy, still uses coal as main energy source. Ooh, yeah, I think they got us there. Maybe you and I are not so different. Could have guessed fantasy is a lot more accurate to real life than we expected. If you think you're based, please remember that there's an entire country where people speak like Shrek. These based levels for Scotland are literally off the charts. This pretty much confirms this is like the greatest land ever. I love how Mike Myers voicing Shrek just randomly did give Shrek a Scottish accent. POV, you live in a third world nation with a beautiful beach. Also, it's spring break. It's the only thing you're gonna be able to see for miles and miles. I can already smell the cheeseburgers. Someone replied with Florida. German doctors are attempting to reverse death and resurrect humans. You know, if this news was coming out of literally any other country, I don't think we'd need to be as worried. But there's just something very strange, the fact that it's coming out of Germany. What type of humans are we trying to resurrect? We're gonna have COD zombies in real life. Time is going by too quickly! So starting tomorrow, I declare each day to last twice as long! Woo! The next day, life expectancy halves. How did this happen? There's always gonna be unintentional consequences. These people that write these headlines are so good. I'm just curious what Spider Nation's flag is this. Let's see who you really are, says America to people who insult America. Oh wait. Literally me. I'm pretty convinced it usually is us. It's just so easy. I'd rather this than the people that can't even take a joke. Schrodinger's bomb. Oh, Minesweeper, one of my favorite games. So there's definitely a boom boom here and 2 boom booms here. However, we literally have to guess where the 4th one is. Well, there is a 50% chance. I feel like I wasn't a fan of Minesweeper until like I was 18 years old. It turns out it's actually pretty fun. I wonder if I could get away with playing that on my gaming channel one day. Foot fetish MFers explaining to me why feet are the best versus me who knows meters are superior. I don't know what these foot fetish people are talking about, but I'm all about those meter fetishes. Oh man, it's just so hot. One of the ant colonies in my garden preparing to launch an all-out war against another ant colony for control over the tree stump. I thought you were gonna say one of the ant colonies in your garden is going to attack one of the ant colonies in a neighbor's garden. I'm gonna be doing everything to support their war efforts. I'll be supplying them with honey to fuel their military-industrial complex. If they need tanks, I'll give them those too. Remembering the periodic table? Yeah, I don't think so. How about remembering all 893 Pokemons? That one would be way easier. Well, all the periodic table stands know what they need to do. Just make countless video games and animes about the periodic table, and maybe we'll find it a little bit more interesting. I mean, there are already battleships being personified as anime girls. What's stopping you? You may think you're cool, but you'll never be as cool as a Mongolian shepherd with an AK and a pet snow leopard and an army of bison behind him. I don't even know what those animals are. Something's back there. I'm pretty convinced all of Mongolia just doesn't want to do a Mongolian Empire 2.0, but if they wanted, they would. EU4 players with a time machine, watch out! The Ottomans will use gunpowder! Thank you for warning me, stranger. Meanwhile, Hoi 4 players with a time machine, okay. I don't even know what to say. All right. The smile at the end makes it, I guess. I feel like half of them do that, and the other half go on a date with Stalin. Japanese soldiers being stereotyped as honorable after committing some of the worst crimes in history. We don't know how this happened, but we'll take it. Mind you, this only is like a Western Hemisphere thing. In Asia, they still remember. When you learn that library in French is a bibliothèque, I don't know, but bookstore is wait, what? How are they able to get away with this? Someone needs to stop the French language immediately. Actually, it sounds like it's similar in all the Romance languages. The bank, when you hand in $10,000 in cash that you received from Mr. Beast. Wait a second, why didn't Walter White just funnel his money in that way? What do you mean I'm selling sketchy substances? I'm just getting this new money from Mr. Beast. Reject modernity, embrace tradition. I feel like I've never seen any of these two playgrounds in real life. Where are you guys building playgrounds like this? I mean, I don't mind either one, but I do want to play on this one. This is actually where Kid Nation should have been filmed. I gotta run to the store, guys. Can you watch this house? Something tells me literally nothing bad is gonna happen to it. It totally won't be utterly destroyed by a nuclear explosion, that's for sure. I feel like even if you haven't seen this footage before, which is pretty famous, I mean, you can kind of tell something really horrible is gonna happen. Look at this weird shadow. Look, it's like in the middle of a desert with nothing else standing. This house has no chance. Playgrounds, boring, built for babies, and you get $0 a year. You're living in poverty. Meanwhile, coal mines, cool rocks, Minecraft IRL, 240,000 a year, and 5 playgrounds. Well, the mines itself is kind of like its own little playground. Who doesn't want to search for diamonds down there? Me, after drinking the tap water in Philadelphia. Okay, I clearly need to buy a ticket to Philly immediately. Try to get some of that radiation. When someone mentions a news event, but there's no memes made about it yet, what are you talking about? I kind of feel like I've been functioning like this for a full 2 years now. This is pretty much how I keep up with everything nowadays. And I feel good about it too. I don't even want to change anything. When Donald and Joe aren't online, this is obviously referencing the AI trend where the presidents play video games together. Who would have thought like AIs would get this good? Joe and Barack are online, sir. Oh, gotta stop being president for a second. It's time to game with the boys. Australians, when they find out they're upside down, what? As they start to cry and it goes up. I don't think they're sad about it. I think they kind of embrace it. They wouldn't have it any other way. Europeans taking antidepressants to win happiness index every year. It didn't say every year. I just added every year. I'm pretty sure they do literally win it every year. Unsurprisingly, once again, it is a Nordic country that is rated as the happiest for the 6th time in a row. Oh, it's just Finland in general that's won 6 times in a row. This is why I didn't need to make a country ball of them. They're already happy enough over there. What about these other ones? But the list goes New Zealand, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Norway, Sweden, the Netherlands, Israel, Iceland, Denmark, and Finland. Israel. The only outliers here being New Zealand and Israel. The other 8 are from Europe. When you realize that Israel got 4th place on the World Happiness Index, 4th place is pretty high, but I know there's different like ratings, different systems on how they rank people. We have a headless horseman, a horseless man head, a horseman, a man horse, a manless horse, a horseless man, a horseless head man, a horseless head man, a manless horse head, head, a headless horse, a less horse head man, a horse man, and finally, man. They're just walking across the street or something. Thank you very much for this. I didn't know that I needed this so bad in my life. The truth about Serbia. Did you know Serbia invaded the whole world twice in history, but gave all nations their land back because Serbians are nice? Watch how they censor the truth. Oh my goodness, it all makes sense now. We're just so lucky as Serbia is so nice. Is that what happened in the 90s too? Serbia just didn't want to have Yugoslavia survive any longer? And big thanks to my patrons. Drew, I forgot to kidnap you. Next date is March 19th, 2023 at 6:30 Boy, do I love Arby's.
Drew's Eritrean grandma.
Portugal is not
Drew's
Balkans.
Argentinian
$20
grandpa.
is a lot, Drew.
aPhatNarwhal.
Bryton is the
Caleb,
best. The Mexican
Adrian, good old
760.
Jack Traven's annoying
John
friend.
Denver,
Luxembourg
Luxembourg,
Lover,
567.
Robert
Shane
Animations,
Taylor,
RyeThePie,
the Weeknd,
The Great
Ralphie,
Commonwealth,
Twickenhamster,
Carmel S,
and ZaneyBoi.